Alright, looks like we're back on. Alright, let's try it.
And Agent Ryerson, what I'm going to do is talk about some timing with this video. So I'm going to refer you to portions of it, so we're not going to watch the whole thing, but to specific portions of it. I'm going to ask that 127 be published in that way, and if we can first go to 2019-18. Okay, so the record should reflect that right now we're at 2019-17, that's good. And Agent Ryerson, at this moment...
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Is this the approximate moment when Mr. Floyd is placed prone on the ground?
Yes, it is, sir.
And when this happens, around this time period, I'm going to let this run for about 10 seconds, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. You got your restraint. Tommy. Grab that.
Now, looking at that 10-second portion, were you able to determine approximately where Mr. Chauvin's left knee is?
Yes, sir. It appears as though it's on the back of Mr. Floyd's neck.
And are you able to determine where Mr. Chauvin's right knee is?
It appeared as though it was on Mr. Floyd's back.
Right here at 2019-28, the hand sort of in the center of the photograph, that Officer Chauvin's hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wearing a glove.
Yes, sir.
In the videos you have reviewed, was he wearing gloves on both hands?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to just speed up to 20-20-45. So the record should reflect we've actually stopped at 20-20-44. That's good. And I'm going to let this just run for 10 seconds, okay?
Yes, sir.
My face is kind of bad.
Yeah, should we get his legs up?
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, just leave him.
Oh,
Just
my
leave him.
God.
Just leave him.
Ah.
All right.
Good.
Now, here at 20-20-55 for the record, we see another video portion within this video, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the right hand, as you're looking at it, the right side of the screen is now Darnella Frazier's video, correct?
SWB audio capture,
So this is
not
earlier when
registered.
we talked about a composite video.
Correct.
Is there a time during the Darnella Frazier video that it becomes apparent Mr. Floyd stops verbalizing?
Yes.
Or saying words?
Yes, sir.
And that approximately, well, if we could then go to 20-23-59. All right, so we're at 23:58, and I ask that you play this for about 10 seconds again.
Bro, but you can get him off the ground. You're being a bum right now. You can get him off the ground, bro. You can get him off the ground. You're being a bum right now.
All right, so is this the moment in the encounter between Mr. Floyd and Mr. Chauvin when Mr. Floyd appears to stop making verbal sounds, talking?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to coming to court, did you have an opportunity to look at defense exhibits 10, 45, 46, 47, and 48?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask that exhibit 1045 be placed on the screen, please. And can you note for the jurors the timestamp in this exhibit?
20-23-32.
And so approximately how long after Mr. Floyd was put on the prone position on the ground did this occur? Would it help to refresh your recollection to refer to a note? Sure.
He was placed on the ground at 20:19:18. Yeah, so 4 minutes.
More than 4 minutes?
More than 4 minutes, yes, sir.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
And then going back to Exhibit 127, is there a point in time on Darnella Fraser's Facebook video when it appears that Mr. Floyd no longer makes any movements?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to ask you to go to 20:24:58. (20:24:58). And does this, well, I'll let this run for about 10 seconds too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Good so far.
I need my deal strap.
I think that's cool though, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You get mad.
So is this approximately the time when afterwards Mr. Floyd does not appear to make any movement?
Yes, sir.
For the record, we've stopped at 20:25:08, and in this photograph, the still portion of the Facebook video or the Darnella Fraser video, does it appear that Mr. Chauvin is using his weight to hold Mr. Floyd down?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to ask to show you Exhibit 1046. Can you tell the jurors, the timestamp from this exhibit?
20:26:40.
And so how long after the time that Mr. Floyd no longer appears to be moving is this photograph taken?
Approximately 7 minutes.
I'm sorry, from the previous photograph?
Oh, from the previous, I'm sorry. Approximately 3 minutes.
Okay, so we know that the moment where he stopped moving, we had as roughly 20:24:58, correct?
Correct.
And so from
SWB audio capture, not registered.
From 20:48.
From 20:24:58 to 20:26, roughly 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
So Exhibit 1046 portrays a time after Mr. Floyd had appeared to stop moving.
Correct.
Are you able to tell from the Darnella Fraser video when the paramedics arrived?
Yes, sir.
So I would like to go back to 127 then and advance to 20:27:20. All right, so here the record should reflect we're at 20:27:18. That's close enough, and I ask you to play about 10 seconds of that.
When you 1087, bro, you're a bum, bro. 987, bro, you're a bum. First thing you want to grab is your mace if you scared, bro. You're a fucking minority, you're fucking bum, bro.
Actually, let's just keep rolling for about 10 more seconds, please.
Like, bro, 3 minutes, bro. You're not fucking serious. Bro, he's not even fucking.
So there we saw one of the paramedics walking up, correct?
Correct.
And so the timestamp here is 20:27:40, correct?
Correct.
And now I'm going to toggle back, I'm sorry, to Exhibit 1047. Do you see the exhibit there?
Yes, sir.
And the timestamp on Exhibit 1047, do you see that?
Yes, sir.
And then also to Exhibit 1048.
Yes, sir.
Do you see the timestamp there?
Yes, sir.
Do those two still photos depict
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Based on your work on the case and your review of the videos, is there a moment in Exhibit 127? You can take that down. Is there a moment in Exhibit 127 where you think you can see better the placement of Officer Chauvin's right knee?
Yes, sir.
And I would ask to go back to 127 at 20:28:43. All right. 202843. And what I'd like to have you do, Agent Ryerson, while we're frozen here on this moment, if you would take the cursor and illustrate to the jurors where Officer Chauvin's right knee is. All right. And so what I'd like to do then, I'll remove that and have the video played. Okay, you can go ahead. Okay, we'll just stop the video there. Were you able to see there when he had his right knee on Mr. Floyd's back?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, to keep things moving, I think I will deal with that previous video at a separate time and continue. That's all.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Sure. We'll take a moment.
So you testified that you were the primary case agent in this particular case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's fair to say that the BCA's investigation into this case was fairly extensive, correct?
Yes, sir.
You would agree that approximately 50 BCA agents were involved in this case in one form or another?
Yes, sir.
Those BCA agents were frequently paired up with agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation or other law enforcement agencies?
That's correct.
Would you agree that roughly 25, 26 FBI agents participated in your investigation?
Yes, sir.
Would you agree that ultimately, all things told, the BCA executed approximately a dozen search warrants in this case?
Yes, sir.
There was an extensive amount of information that was gathered by the BCA. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
A lot of that information is ultimately has no bearing on this case. Agreed? Meaning, interviews were conducted, for example, of people who didn't see anything.
That did occur. However, I believe that our investigation was very thorough.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to just gather. It was more than just watching a few minutes of video, piecing a couple of things together, interviewing a couple people, right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that roughly 200 citizen witnesses were interviewed in this case?
Yes, sir.
And so when we break down and we look at those citizen
SWB audio capture not registered.
The investigation is to gather as much information as is possible, right?
Yes, sir.
And to preserve that information for further review to determine at a later point if it does or doesn't become relevant to a criminal investigation, right?
Yes.
So in terms of, say, the citizen witnesses, the BCA agents interviewed many witnesses who did not observe, they weren't present, for example, correct?
Yes, sir.
People who live in the area, agents went and canvassed the area, knocked on doors, talked to people at local businesses, and they said, oh, I wasn't there at that time, I was somewhere else, right?
Correct.
BCA agents worked hard to identify people who may have seen some portion of that, correct? Of this incident, correct?
Yes, sir.
So things that BCA agents did would include trying to read license plate numbers on cars that were passing by, looking up the registered owners of those cars and going and interviewing them, correct?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes people acknowledged being in that area. Sometimes they said, we weren't there.
Yes, sir.
Right? There were also witnesses that the BCA agents interviewed that provided just sort of background information, right?
Yes, some, sir.
So, for example, the owner of the vehicle that was being driven by Mr. Floyd was not on was not present that day, but she was interviewed, correct?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Right. And your job as the lead case agent is to sort of quarterback all of this, right?
Yes, sir.
And as other agents receive information, you take it and you maintain a data file, correct?
Correct.
And every time a BCA agent performs some task,
SWB audio
BCA
capture
works,
not
a new
registered.
report is generated for that particular task. Agreed?
That is correct.
So rather than having one officer write a long narrative police report, they will write several police reports instead, right?
That's correct.
And to date, over 400 BCA investigative reports have been prepared in this case. Agreed?
Yeah, specifically, I think 440.
So we're at almost 450, and some of those reports are even being generated now as we speak, correct?
Possibly.
Right. And in fact, we just went through this analysis of an exhibit, and you compared it to some other exhibits that were already presented. That's something that literally was probably just done today, right?
Possibly, sir.
Right. I mean, the analysis that you just did here on direct examination, you never wrote a police report about that, right?
No, sir.
And that's because those exhibits were just introduced in court, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, now in addition, this investigation took a lot of different twists and turns. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
In part because of kind of what was going on in the city at the time,
Yes, sir.
right? So for example, certain pieces of equipment belonging to Officer Chauvin or other involved officers were located in other places, right?
That is correct.
And those investigations kind of were turned into this investigation and became a part of this investigation, globally speaking.
Yes.
And because of the profile of this case, the BCA maintains like a tip database line, right?
That's correct.
And it's fair to say that a number of citizens called in with information or what they perceive to be information.
Yes, sir.
And it's the BCA's job to follow up. on
SWB audio capture
pieces of
not
information.
registered.
And ultimately, in following up on those little pieces of information, oftentimes you can see that, I mean, this is irrelevant to this case, it's something else, or this person may just want to share their opinion, right?
Yes, sir.
And so this investigation has been ongoing essentially since May 25th of 2020.
Yes, sir.
And all things told, part of what the BCA did was to go and get training records from the city of Minneapolis, correct?
That's correct.
Through search warrants.
Yes, sir.
And there were multiple search warrants to obtain that type of information, right?
Yes, sir.
And there were 2 search warrants executed on the Mercedes-Benz driven by Mr. Floyd, correct?
Yes, sir.
There were 2 consent to searches of Squad 320, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to just be very clear about something. When you talk about the second search of the Squad 320,
Yes.
you prior to that second, the defense request to view, right?
Yes.
Squad 320 had been in the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension secure storage from effectively May 25th, 26th, all the way until January when that was done, right?
Yes, not on site at our headquarters.
Right, at the secure storage location.
Correct.
And the defense would not have had access to that unless you or another representative of the BCA was present, correct?
That is correct.
And it is common, is it not, in your investigations for defense attorneys to ask to view pieces of evidence, right?
Yes, it is.
SWB audio capture not
And,
registered.
That was done in this particular case, right?
Yes, it was.
And you weren't present at that. That was Agent Phil, I believe, that was present,
Correct.
along with Scott Mueller.
Correct.
And I just want to make sure you're not suggesting that the defense in somehow put pieces of pills into that squad car.
No, sir, I'm not suggesting that.
And in fact, it would have been the agents who were present to cut the seal on the squad car, correct?
Yes.
All right. And
All right, I think we're getting back to
the
where we
defense
were.
isn't necessarily allowed to touch or manipulate or do anything to that squad car.
That is correct.
All right. So part of the overall investigation, again, included getting surveillance videos from area businesses, right?
Correct.
Including the speedway across the street.
Yes, sir.
And some of the video is of higher quality than others, right?
That is
Meaning cell phones of those, right?
correct.
And just lots and lots and lots of stuff that happens.
Yes, sir.
Right. Ultimately, when you first got involved in this case as the lead case agent, you had a very limited piece of information, right?
Yes, sir.
That was information that was gleaned from the dispatch. It was gleaned from, just basic, what's called public safety reporting, correct?
Correct.
An individual had been detained, that individual passed away, and you began the normal critical incident process, agreed?
That is correct.
Which includes securing the scene, right?
Yes.
It includes securing potential evidence, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it includes interviewing witnesses.
That's correct.
All right. And the
SWB audio capture,
critical
not
incident
registered.
policies of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension were followed in this particular case, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you conducted the first search of the Mercedes-Benz back on May 26th of 2020, you were present when that happened, right?
From some of the time.
Right. But another crime scene team analyst would have taken photographs, looked at things, and preserved that both digitally by way of photographs, plus
I fucking bought this new app. I paid the money. It's fucking up for some reason. So I'm going to erase this motherfucker. And we're going to get rid of it. And I'm going to cancel my membership. Because it's not funny on something. And it's just pissing me off that it's not working right now. So just give me a second, guys. Just please. Just give me 1 second. Alright. I'm trying to do the best for you guys. Just give me a second. You know, I'm not going to be able to make everybody fucking happy all the time. And I'm trying to do that, and that's what's making this shit worse right now. So just give me a second, guys. Let me go find a way to delete this fucking app off my computer. I gotta open it up and cancel it. Continue your trial. No. Cancel trial. I have not created... Yes, I created an account. So I can delete it off my fucking computer. Sign in. Oh wait, I think I used EddieBlockFilms. Sign in. Let's see. I don't want to try out anymore. How do you cancel this fucking thing? Account. Subscriptions. To modify payment or cancel your subscription, go to Stripe portal. Okay. Let's go to cancel plans. I already paid it. It's already gone on my credit card. Hey, Jim Bob. Just trying to fix this stuff real quick, guys. You just gotta give me some time. I gotta delete this fucking program now off of my computer. So it's gonna take me a second. Just trying to give you guys better quality stuff, and obviously the item can't be moved to the trash, but it's open. All right, let's force quit it. Force quit. My shit. Alright, so how do I delete this? Let's see. Hold on, let me go to settings. Trying to remember. Alright, now let me see if I can delete this program. Move the trash. It's not being used any. It's not open. Where are you open at? It's not an open app. Because I'm trying to force quit it and you can't force quit it. Audio. Alright, now how can I quit this app? Now let's see if I can force quit it. Let's force quit that. Okay, but it's still, the app is still up here. It's working. It can't be moved to trash because it's open. Well, son of a, it's one of, dude, I got fucked, I think, with this goddamn app. See, now the screen's buffering. What a ripoff. Alright, I will Ultimate, you know, Ultimate Gamer, I can only do one thing at a time right now, guys, alright? I'm really not doing good right now. I'm getting agitated with this stupid app. And it's not working. And I can't figure out how to get it off my goddamn computer now. Yeah, how do I get rid of you? I think I have to restart my computers. Let's see, continue. It won't let me force quit this fucking app. I understand, bro, but you know, telling me I'm trying to do this and you're like, hey, you got to show this app. You know, that's getting to me. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody just give me a second. I'm really frustrated right now because I'm pissed because I spent money to do stuff to make this show better for you guys, and instead I'm getting fucked. I don't have Windows. I'm on a Mac. Dude, I'm not on a Windows. I'm on a Mac. It doesn't work that way. And I'm trying to force quit it. And it's not working. Dude, I hate this fucking shit. Launch activity monitor. Okay, launch activity monitor. Search for the name of the app. There it is right there. Where'd it go? Now it disappeared. Okay, got it. There's a quit button. Quit. The first quit, let's see. There's a quit button in the toolbar where you can choose force quit a process. Let me go back to that. Now I'm not seeing it. Quit, there we go. Are you sure you want to quit? Thank you. Empty trash. Thank you. Normal.
This button.
Not that one. Alright, now tell me.
Evidence, right? Yes, a BCA agent. Took the photographs.
That's Mackenzie Anderson.
No, that was Special Agent Joseph O'Brien.
Right. He was also a part of the crime scene team.
Yes, sir.
And so,
It's still all jerky on the video, huh? At least it's not good. You need to eat some food. You got COVID. Alright, was it still jerking, guys? Let me know. The spinning circle. Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart my computer and restart everything. We're at